I want to talk to you today. Today we're going to talk about, I want to share an analogy that I like to use when we're talking about our relationship with food. So what I tend to see when it comes to people working to stay on track with healthy eating, right? As you know, as many of you might know, people like to call me the nutritionist who never talks about food. And this is because my approach is all about not talking about what you should eat and what you should not eat and all of those things, although important discussion. But my approach is really about helping you figure out the why, the how about staying on track with the healthy choices that I believe you already kind of know you need to make, right? I think that for the most part, the people that work with me have done so many programs, they've tried so many diets, they've tried so many approaches that they don't lack information about what they should be eating and not eating. Where they struggle is the doing it, right? The staying on track with healthy eating, the staying consistent, the avoiding sabotaging themselves after, at the end of the day or after a week of doing really well, ending right back where they started in their old habits and patterns. So that is my focus. That is what I do. It's what I live and breathe. It's what my Conquer the Food Fight Facebook group is all about. It's what my programs are all about. So I spent a lot of time talking to people. There are about 12,000 people in my Facebook group. I spent a lot of time talking to people about habits, about patterns, about how to stay on track, about what derails them, about what sabotages them, right? And so add to that my own journey with food, my own journey as a recovering emotional eater, as a past nighttime binge eater. I think I have, based on all of that, a unique perspective on this whole business of how we stay on track with healthy eating, how we really create that healthy lifestyle that we talk about instead of just sort of white knuckling it all the time, right? Instead of constantly being in this tug of war with your brain and your body of, don't eat that, but I want to eat that. Don't eat it, but I want to eat it, right? That's not sustainable. It's not an approach that works really well. It's not effective. So what can we do instead? How can we literally reprogram and rewire the way your brain thinks about food so that staying on track with healthy eating starts to feel natural, starts to feel easy, starts to feel automatic, like a no-brainer, right? Not something you have to think about all the time, and not this constant struggle that we feel like we're in. Okay, so what I see as I watch this, as I work with my clients, as I work with my students, is I see this obsession with looking for the tools, and instead of getting to the root cause. And let me share an analogy that I like to use when I talk about this. And it's one that I think is helpful. My brain tends to work in analogies, so I want to share this with you. Imagine you have a beautiful bathroom. You renovated your bathroom, right? You have a gorgeous bathroom, radiant heated floors, huge clawfoot bathtub, marble countertops, right? Whatever your dream bathroom is. And, maybe you have house guests visiting and you offer them, you say, use my beautiful new bathroom, right? The jewel of my home. I want you to use it and enjoy it. It is my piece de resistance. And maybe one day you come home and there's water dripping from your ceiling, and you run upstairs and you find your house guests on the floor trying to mop up what looks like inches of water spilling across your entire floor, right? Sopping out into your radiant heated floors, onto your hardwood out in the hall. And you look up and you see that your beautiful bathtub is overflowing and the faucet is on full blast, right? Water just pouring everywhere out of the bathtub onto the floor. And your guests are on their hands and knees trying to sop up all this water. And you say, what is happening? What is going on? And they say, help, like, do you have any more towels, or do you have more absorbent towels or bigger towels? Like, we need to deal with all this water on the floor. And you're kind of confused, and you look at the bathtub and the faucet pouring out and you say, like, is the faucet broken? And they look at you confused and they say, what do you mean? And you say, the faucet, why is the faucet running, right? And they say, oh, well, we didn't have time to think about the faucet. We have to mop up all this water on the floor. And this is, I think, this image, this analogy is what's happening when we are talking about our relationship with food. we are obsessing about the towels, right? We're trying to mop up the water. We're trying to find quick and healthy meal ideas and guilt-free treats and high protein snacks. And we're buying, more books, and we're signing up for new diets, and we're joining new, we're buying into different fads, and we're buying all the shakes, right? We're looking for all the tools. We're trying to find the right tools. What should I use? What can I do? When what we're not doing is turning off the faucet, right? We're not addressing the root cause. And so what happens is you can keep collecting tools. You can keep pinning recipes on Pinterest, and you can keep ascribing to new diet ideas and this much protein or this many carbs or no carbs or low fat or high fat or keto or paleo or whatever. But these are all just tools. These are towels, right? In my bathtub analogy, these are towels. And what happens is there's no amount of towels. If you don't turn off that bathtub faucet, there are no amount of towels. Even the most perfect absorbent Egyptian cotton bath sheet size towel is not going to fix your problem if you don't turn off that faucet. Okay? And what is the faucet when we're talking about our relationship with food? It's your brain, right? And I don't mean turn off your brain, but I mean address your brain. The way you need to address the faucet, if your bathtub is overflowing, you must address the faucet instead of just looking for more towels. When it comes to our relationship with food, you need to address what's going on up here instead of just looking for more programs and diets and shakes and guilt-free treats and balanced snacks, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Of course, if your bathtub has overflowed and there is water all over your floor, towels are going to be useful. You are going to need some towels. And if you are trying to change your health and your weight, knowing a little bit about nutrition, having a plan, having some good snack ideas, going to be useful tools. But we become obsessed. We become singularly focused on these tools, and we don't address the faucet. We don't address what's going on up here. We don't address the root cause. And so no amount of tools, no amount of snacks, there is no perfect diet that is going to fix the problem, because your old wiring, your old operating system is still driving the bus. And it is still going to sabotage you, and it is still going to derail you, and is still going to send you back into old habits and patterns. And you are going to stay on this hamster wheel until you stop focusing on the tools entirely and instead spend more time initially focused on the faucet, right? What's going on up here. So this is why, I joke that I'm the nutritionist that never talks about food, because I really don't talk about food. I think that, as crazy as it may sound, the food is actually the easy part, right? Once you do the work to reprogram and rewire what's going on up here, so that your brain, so that you change that old wiring, so you actually change that, what I call like your operating system up there, so that you are drawn to the healthy choices, so that you have a different relationship with food, so that you're not eating your feelings, so that you're not turning to food when you're tired or stressed or overwhelmed or bored. So that meal planning, meal prep, making time for these things becomes something that you enjoy, something that feels nourishing, something that feels like a treat, a gift to yourself, because it comes from a place of self-care and self-love. Until you change that foundational piece, once you do that, picking the healthy foods, that's kind of the easy part. And again, I'm not to diminish, the information that you need and the understanding that you have to have about nutrition. But again, in my experience, the people that come to me already know a whole lot about nutrition, right? More than the average person. They've already read all the books. They already kind of know these things. So that part is sort of the easy part, right? The harder part, the part that requires more focus and more work initially, is doing that reprogramming and rewiring work, right? Just like turning the faucet off on that overflowing bathtub. Until you do that, there's no point in running around looking for more towels or better towels, or the kind of towels your sister-in-law uses, or the kind of towels you heard about on Facebook, right? Like, towels are great and important if you have water on your bathroom floor, but first turn off the faucet, right? And it's the same with your relationship with food. Having healthy meal ideas, great, right? I love a good cookbook. Don't get me wrong, but all of those things are going to be useless for you, or at least not effective in helping you stay consistent and on track until you do that underlying work of changing the way your brain really thinks about these things. Again, what I call changing your operating system. So this is exactly what I teach in my Change Your Brain, Change Your Body program, right? It's my signature program. It's my baby. And registration is opening again on Saturday. So that's why I wanted to come and just let you know that if you want to learn how to do this underlying work, that's what we teach inside the program. It's 12 weeks of learning about how your brain works, how habits work, how dopamine in the brain works, how you can master tools like meditation and visualization and intention setting, and incorporating routines and rituals that will start changing that operating system, right? Creating space for more self-care and self-love in your life. And what that actually looks like beyond, massages and pedicures, what that really looks like. Again, so you can change that wiring, change that programming. So again, registration opens officially on Saturday. If you're interested, comment, post below, send me a message, whatever. If you're on my email list, you'll get some information about it already on Saturday. But let me know if you're interested. I'll make sure that you get the information. Again, it's 12 weeks of learning, but it's also as a member of CYB, of Change Your Brain, Change Your Body, you get lifetime access, not only to the program and every time I run it, but to a community of members. We have an amazing community of about 250 people in that program. And you get lifetime access to that community where you're going to get constant support, accountability, insights. I'm in there all the time in the Facebook group over there, private group, doing Ask Me Anything videos, answering your questions. We set up, there's voluntary accountability buddy partnerships if you want a little bit more accountability from an actual buddy that we pair you with. We have daily prompts to help you practice and learn and really start to change that wiring in your brain, really change that operating system so that you become the person who just naturally wants to make the healthy choices. You become the person for whom the food that doesn't nourish you, that doesn't serve you, becomes sort of unappealing, right? Do we still love chocolate and potato chips? Of course, right? But we enjoy them in a mindful and meaningful way that isn't harming our body, isn't derailing us, isn't sabotaging us. You really start to create a different relationship with food. And that not only the 12 weeks of learning and sort of the toolbox that you get of new tools and new ways of thinking about things, but the lifetime support that comes in the program is so invaluable. So if you're interested, again, let me know, post below or shoot me a message here, there, Facebook, wherever, or send me an email, and I will make sure you get access right away on Saturday. If you're already on my email list, again, you'll get the emails as well. But I hope you start thinking about whether you join the program or not. Please just start thinking about the faucet, right? Think about turning off the faucet first instead of focusing on the towels, right? Towels are important, yes, but there's no amount of towels in the world that are going to help you if you can't turn off that faucet. So I really encourage you to make that your more primary focus about changing the way your brain thinks about food. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope this was helpful. I hope you liked the bathtub analogy, and I will talk to you soon.